So you're thinking about moving to Joshua, Texas. Well, in this video, we're going to tell you why that's a bad idea.
And if this is your first time to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. And if you want to be the first to know why not to move to Joshua, go ahead and ring that bell.
And if you stick around to the very end, we're going to tell you about a really sick castle. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. My name is Tom Jung.
And I'm Jack Lisenby.
And we are your local real estate agents. If you're looking to move to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, we would love to work with you. Please do not hesitate to reach out, whether you're a few days or a few months out from buying or selling. We would love to hear from you. So shoot us a text, drop us a line, phone call, a DM.
Yeah, slide
whatever.
in the DMs.
Yeah, or there is a button on our YouTube page to schedule a call or Zoom. All that kind of stuff. Cool. All right. And so today we're talking about Joshua, Texas. So this is, I'm not gonna lie, this is our, this was my rival growing up.
Really?
I grew up in Burleson, which is right next to Joshua. And so, yeah, we had to tell everybody all the time why we were better than Joshua. So
What sports?
Everything.
Everything?
It's
Just everything.
Yeah. So here I am as an adult doing the same thing. Joshua is, I would describe the feel as country.
Yes, very much.
Yeah.
I know we've talked about a couple of them where we've said like it's kind of like that halfway point where you're kind of close, no. Joshua is where it just becomes Texas country.
Yeah, and it seems, I guess the location kind of throws it off because it's really not that far out.
No, not at all.
Yeah, and so to get that real country vibe being that close to the Metroplex is just a little bit different. But yeah, it's country is the way I would describe it.
Yeah, definitely.
So we'll talk a little bit about the location.
Yeah, of course. So for anyone who doesn't know where Joshua is, like he said, it's not too far from Burleson, but the big ones are Fort Worth at about half an hour to the north, and it's basically just due south of Fort Worth for anyone looking on a map. Dallas is about an hour away because there's not really a straight shot road that you can take to get there from Joshua. You kind of have to take it up to the 820 and then go across. Arlington's only about 50 minutes away, and that's probably just because of traffic. And like I said, you got to do kind of a zigzag to get up there. Granbury's about 40 minutes away, so it's actually closer than Fort Worth as far as drive time goes there. And the Fort Worth airport is about 45 minutes away.
You say Fort Worth Airport?
DFW Airport. I'm sorry. I'm so Fort Worth centric. I was like, screw the Dallas portion.
I was like, that's a
we're taking over.
Measuring, yeah.
Yeah, the Dallas Fort Worth Airport, not Meacham.
Okay. All right, cool. How far is it to downtown Fort Worth? Did you mention
from
that?
downtown Fort Worth, it's about 30 minutes. Yeah.
30 minutes. Okay, yeah, that's not bad.
Because you can just take the 35 straight up once you get up from, or if you take the Chisholm Trail, it's even faster.
Yeah, I was going to say, since Chisholm went in, there's a lot of like bigger type lots out there that's now a lot closer. Cool. So what else do we talk about? Schools, right?
Yeah. Schools. I mean, that's really important. If you're thinking to move into Joshua, you want to know what the education is going to be like for your kids.
Yeah. As far as, well, okay, if we're going all straight up country on this, it's doing great. But overall, if you're looking at education, comparing it to everybody else, it's above average. A lot of the schools, they do have some really good schools there, and the district overall, I think, is rated at a B+. Yeah, B+. And so it's a good school district.
So Joshua had a bunch of private schools, which is why there's so much fluctuation, because overall their schools are all A rated, but the overall ISD is B+. So
yeah, so there's a little bit of room for improvement there, but definitely if you have kids, it's all right. There's not gonna I know this is supposed to be yeah, I know it's not as good as Burleson. Yeah, I'm not doing good with the con video. Let's keep going. What else sucks about Joshua?
Their crime, actually.
Yeah,
it could be better.
Okay,
it's only slightly above average.
Oh man.
And I'm talking like
really
the average
slacking.
being like 11.3, and they're at 11.7 per 1,000 people.
Oh, people involved in crime?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Criminal cases per 1,000.
Okay.
People in the population, so only slightly above average.
Okay.
But their average crime density is about half of the average, which is 27, and they're at about 14 per square mile. And if anyone's looking for safe neighborhoods to harbor yourselves away from that slightly above average crime, Egan to the east and the western portion of Joshua are very safe, as well as the northwest portion. So as long as you stay out of the center of Joshua, you're really hitting the nail on the head for safety.
Yeah, so I'm not even looking at this list, but I know up next is activity. So if you're in Joshua, I know some of the favorite pastime is tire kicking, looking at a motor, trying to figure out what's going on. Probably some back road driving if your truck's working. Bonfires are popular in Joshua. Muddin', yeah, that's a good one as well. But apart from that, what other activities are we looking at?
So Joshua seems bent on making sure that you can kill something while drunk.
That sounds about right.
So they've got as far as things to do, their biggest thing seems to be horseback riding and like physical activity. So we've got a couple of wineries. We got the Lost Oak Winery right on the border of Burleson. There's Kathy's Private Nightclub and the Second Chances Nightclub if you want to go catch a drink or a nightcap.
Or STDs.
Or STDs. Depends on how far you go. So there's if you're into horseback riding, they do have the Brass Ring horseback riding stables over there. So if you like competition riding, if you're really into rodeos, that's the way to go. There's the YMCA and the Joshua Box if you want to look for a local gym, as well as the Academy of Okinawan Karate for any of those martial arts enthusiasts out there. The Lucan Gym for gymnastics if you want to get your kids into tumbling and stuff like that. It's really cool. My sister did that. And then there's actually an art gallery, which I was thoroughly surprised by. They have the Red Eagle Art Gallery in the Northwest, just on the corner, or just in the corner of the border of Joshua.
Okay.
And then lastly,
a little bit of culture in the finer things.
I know, right? Right before you go hog killing, because they got the poor boy hoggers out there where you can go. It's basically just, we have Texas. For those of you who don't know, we have a javelina problem, and I know a lot of people joke at us whenever we say like, yeah, you should probably own a gun because of javelinas. But if you literally live outside of the city, it's a real problem. Mm-hmm. These guys made a sport of it. You can go rent, get an ATV and just take them out because there's no licensing or limit on those guys.
Yeah, they're real menace to society out there. So, yeah, a lot of good stuff. I feel like people are probably getting and when you said the karate thing, like all of a sudden I was like, people are gonna think this is like Napoleon Dynamite. That's just gonna be like,
oh no,
the general feel of Joshua.
It's a Liger.
It's probably not far off. But,
yeah, that's fair.
Or the Dueling Banjos. What is that movie?
Oh God.
Something Credence.
I know what you're talking about. I've seen the scene. I don't think I've seen the movie. Yeah, just tell us we're stupid in the comments.
Obviously not movie buffs here.
Right.
I like them. Okay, cool. So dining. You didn't talk about dining, did you?
No. Actually, they've got some good stuff.
Okay, why don't you talk about that because I know nothing about their dining.
So actually, like I said, it's out in the middle of nowhere. Like you're not going to get a ton. There is a decent amount of the chain restaurants in the downtown area if you're in the center of Joshua, but as you go further out, you're going to see more mom and pops, and I think that's really cool because it gives you a lot of options as far as eateries go. The biggest ones out there, actually, the Hickory Tree Grill, which is an American traditional style, like gastropub or saloon style or cafe kind of thing. We have the Owl's Next Cafe, which is breakfast and brunch, definitely more diner style. La Gringa, which is Latin food, Mexican mostly, and Napoli's Pasta and Pizza, which is Italian food, a bit lower end, not necessarily a date spot kind of Italian food, but it's good for getting that carb fix in. And then you've got the Main Street Biscuit Company, which is more of a chic style restaurant, more up and coming and a little bit more modern. So it kind of stands out from the rest of the Joshua background.
What was it called?
The Main Street Biscuit Company.
Okay, interesting. I forgot. This is what I was going to mention. So when it came to activities and stuff, shopping, I ran across this. I just have to throw it out there. But there is there's a place in Joshua called Chicks Before Dicks Boutique. And hey, shout out to that business owner. Good for you. I feel like she got burned somewhere.
Is it like a hair salon or something?
No, it's a boutique. Like they sell clothing and
I see. I don't know what a boutique is. So.
Jeez. Okay.
I'm a real estate agent. What am I doing with my life?
All right. So, anyways, yeah. Okay. So, housing types. Let's talk about that a little bit. So, as we mentioned, like a lot of this out in the country, they do have, actually have like planned communities. So, if you're looking for something like that, they definitely have they definitely have planned communities. They're very nice, and so you're going to get more bang for your buck out in Joshua, which we'll have another video that we'll post that takes you into a couple of the different neighborhoods to give you an idea of what is out there. But you have definitely your planned communities. You also have mobile homes in certain areas, and then you're also going to have a lot of areas where there's houses on land, and that's really nice. I mean, that's part of living in Texas. I got to say, as much as Joshua sucks, they do have some cool houses and land. Also, they have new homes on land as well. So this is something that I think is getting harder and harder to find. If you're looking for new homes, to have a new home on any kind of land, you're having to go a lot further out. And so I feel like this is one of those type of areas where you're still fairly close to everything and can get a new house on an acre for like $600,000 or something like that. So, if you're looking for that type of thing, Joshua may be a good bet for you. But apart from that, if you're all about high class stuff and entertainment, it's going to be a drive. Yeah. So, anyways, anything else to add?
Yeah, we got to make sure we tell them about the castle.
Oh, that's right. You guys hung around to the end. Let's talk about the castle.
Yeah. So so we just talked about like kicking dirt off our boots and horseback riding and shooting hogs and stuff like that, and then you think, yeah, there's no way that an English-style castle would be in the middle of whatever this place is. Yeah. Well, you're wrong. Because Chateau Woda Nymphei, I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm not just...
I was going to say, that sounded like a Star Wars character.
Flame me in the comments. But it's a romantic-style Gothic chateau that was built by Rodney, Lord Harrington, in Joshua, Texas, of all places.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know what it is, but Central Europeans definitely have a hard-on for Texas and cowboys. Like, if you ever talk to a German person, like, that's definitely a thing. They think every American, especially Texans, wear 10-gallon hats and ride horses to work, and they're only 50% right because, we don't wear the 10-gallon hats while horses all the time.
Yeah, we don't ride the horses to work
Sometimes
every
it's
day.
ball caps, we keep it classy. But it's currently owned by Chip and Joanna Gaines, and they bought it back in 2019. This thing kind of has a bit of a history because it was built a long time ago. They didn't have a date on the article that I read, but it's kind of a mashup between an American traditional style house and this in like what you would imagine like a turret or a tower from a castle would look like, almost like what like the princess is in the tallest tower or whatever. One of those towers just kind of slapped onto the side of this house, but it also has a bunch of Gothic architecture built into it. It looks really cool, but it's kind of been a money dump for a lot of people because they'll buy it and be like, oh, I want to renovate this thing. And then to get all these materials which aren't native to the area, it's been incredibly expensive. A bunch of people end up just selling it halfway through a project. And these guys actually, the Gaines, bought it with the exact same intention. So they have not sold it yet, but we're going to have to see if these guys are going to be the ones to be able to pull it off.
All right. Well, maybe when it does come for sale, it'll be done, and maybe you can buy it if you're looking. There we go. Well, as always, we've got a lot of resources in the description. So if you are looking to move this way, obviously you can set up a call with us. And if you would just like, properties from Joshua or anywhere else, there's also a form for that if you want to fill that out. We'll get you a very detailed listing. Detailed is probably not the right word. I guess more accurate than what you're going to find on Zillow or Trulia, all that kind of stuff. Anyways, as always, thanks for watching. And remember, if you're looking to buy or sell, remember to keep calm, call Tom.